Boys, we have a bit of emergency right now. It is bench day. And in order to bench big, you gotta eat big, right? We have run out of food. And I poorly planned my execution of having my food ready and prepared for this week. So we are on a little bit of an adventure to make sure that we have food for the rest of the day. Now, most people say, oh my gosh, let me just head down to the local market basket or Hannaford's or Stop and Shop, Walmart, any of those places, and get like a pound of beef and maybe some chicken cutlets or something. No. Those are humans. We have transcended our belief in ourselves that we are humans. And that means we have foregone health insurance because we got that animal in us. So we can't go to the doctor anymore. We can't go to the vet because we're bigger than everyone. But we're going to Costco, the only place a powerlifter should be buying their beef. Now, it is difficult to go to a Costco and leave with only about $100, if not less, in your cart. Just by the way that it's set up, it convinces you that everything is big and everything is cheap, so you throw a lot of things in your cart, so you got to go with a plan. So our plan for today is go in there, we get 10 pounds of beef, we get avocado, squeezable avocado, or mild guacamole, something that's not going to be high in capsaicin because our butthole can only take so much spice, and eggs. I think that's about it. We don't need cereal because the cereal that they have, the cereal options they have, was Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, or something else, which was highly disappointing. And I prefer to have a little bit more Captain in my crunches, if you get what I mean. And then, do we need anything else? We could pick up chicken. We should pick up chicken. We're gonna pick up chicken. So about $50 for the beef, probably $25, so that's 75. So we're getting out of here with about $100 worth of food, and that'll last us about 1 to 2 weeks. 1 to 2 weeks, not 2 to 3 weeks, because every day we eat a pound of beef, so it should last about 10 days. And a pound of chicken, but we're not going to cook up 10 pounds of chicken. I got to pick up some food on my way because I haven't eaten breakfast yet because I didn't have enough food. So we're picking up some, I don't even want to admit what we're picking up because it's not on plan. And if it's not on plan, you shouldn't have it. But if I don't get food, I'll go hypoglycemic. So what I'm supposed to be having for breakfast is 3 eggs, 220 grams of beef, and two bagels with 40 grams of honey. And that's what we're supposed to be having. We're going to pick up a breakfast sandwich, a coffee, and 1 donut. I'm like hesitant because donuts are not good, but we're supposed to have 2 bagels with honey, and that's as close as we're gonna get while driving in our car. So I've been rambling for way too long. Audience retention is gonna be super low. Just know that I still love you guys, and I might shit my pants on this drive. So stay tuned for that. I read the book Culture Code by David Coyle, and he said something about if you make something easy or make something accessible or enjoyable, you're more likely to be successful in achieving your goals. I am currently writing a couple books. I have a powerlifting ebook, which I just need to rewrite 1 chapter, and then I'll be able to publish that, which I've been procrastinating on doing for like 3 months now. But also, I have a fiction book that I've been writing, and that one is more of a therapeutic write and allows me to get a lot of frustrations out, as well as kind of go through a lot of the motions of therapy without actually going to therapy, because men don't go to therapy. And so I do a lot of Uber Eats, right? And because I'm waiting for the start date of my new job, and they haven't given me one yet, but I've signed all the, hey, you're hired paperwork, and I'm just like, okay, can you start paying me now? Like, please, it'd be real nice, because Uber Eats sucks dick. But there's a lot of downtime, and I arrived at Costco. I didn't realize that it didn't open till 10, so I've got a lot of time on my hands just sitting around, and I'm in the parking lot. And so yesterday I went out to Walmart and I bought a keyboard, wireless Bluetooth keyboard from Anker, 20 bucks. It takes 2 AAA batteries, and I thought there were AA batteries, and I found like a million AAA batteries at home, and I was like, no, this is not the right one, because I was so used to my Game Boy back in the day being AA batteries, and always looking for AA batteries. But this takes 2 AAA batteries that should last 3 months, and I'm able to connect it to my phone, and I'm able to write, because I keep I have my book on my Google Drive, and each chapter segmented out, so I can prop my phone up on my steering wheel, this, get it straight up, this, hands free, and I can type away. And I wrote about a quarter of a chapter, about 800 words yesterday, while I was waiting in a Taco Bell parking lot. So it's an investment, but really it's about making goals achievable. And when I'm just sitting around not doing anything, I feel like I'm wasting time. I feel like I'm wasting away, wasting energy, and I get anxious and whatnot. So the fact that I have a keyboard in my car means I'm able to work whenever I'm in my car and sitting around waiting to pick people up from work, to wait for stores to open, waiting for this, waiting for that. I'm able to actually alleviate some of those anxieties that I've got and actually be a productive member of society. I'll go out the window when I have to poop, though. Store can't open soon enough. All right, 10 pounds of beef, guacamole, sauerkraut, 8 pounds of chicken, 5 dozen eggs. This would be a good deal if it wasn't the most dog shit flavor. And here's the loot. I got Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's got 4 grams of fat per serving, so it's just in the acceptable amount. Buddy Treats and everything else I went over. The 5 dozen eggs, guacamole, chicken breast, sauerkraut, and beef, about 11 pounds of beef. So we did end up getting a couple of things on our list that weren't, or we got a couple of things that weren't on our list, but are necessities, like the sauerkraut. I've been missing my chicken meal a lot, and that chicken meal is the meal that I have my sauerkraut in. And so the sauerkraut I had was not good, so, and I like the container that this sauerkraut's in, because it's a hard plastic container. But I know you guys are wondering, is there any information on here? Not really, but I'll still hide the majority of it. So we got the receipt, right? So guac, 14 bucks, sauerkraut, 10 bucks. I'm rounding. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, $7.50. Boneless chicken breast, $23.92. Ground beef, $25.50. Ground beef, $26.40. It was like measured by the pound. Dog treats, 14 bucks, minus $3 because it was on sale. And 5 dozen eggs, $11.59, coming out to $126.37. So everyone who says, oh, I can't powerlift, I can't eat that much, eating that much is expensive, It's too expensive to eat like that. I can't do that. It's too expensive. I bet your food bill's like $1,000. Nah. I've got a 25-pound bag of rice at home. That'll last me about a month, maybe a month and a half. 20 pounds is about a month, so a month and a week-ish. If I am consistent with my food consumption. That chicken will last, 8 pounds of chicken, that'll last me 1 to 2 weeks. I'm gonna freeze half of it. That beef, they were both about 5.8, 5.9 pounds of beef. I'm gonna cook one of those up. That'll last me about a week and then some, and then I cook up the other half a week and then some. I prefer that over just cooking all 10 pound. I mean, I would have rather had the 10-pound log, because the 10-pound log is cool and it's actually 95.5 rather than 88.12, which is like close to 90, and I'm supposed to do 93.7. So it's like, you know. So I do actually prefer cooking up half and freezing half and then cooking up the rest later, as opposed to cooking it all and then freezing it like I did last time. But it is what it is. That chicken will last a while. That beef will last probably just as long as the chicken, if not less. Maybe a little longer, maybe a couple days longer. Those eggs will last about 2 to 3 weeks. So like $120 for about 3, maybe 4 weeks is somewhere between 30 and 40 bucks a week worth of food. So the key to eating cheap, not expensively as a power lifter, eating right, is to eat clean, and that means no eating out. I get 2 free like cheat meals a week. I'm probably going to cut those down to 1, tell my nutritionist about it, be like, hey, we're at 350, we don't need to gain any more weight. Once we start the peak cycle, things are going to start popping up, and 355, 360 is our goal for the meet. So we're in a good spot right now, and we don't want to be adjusting our leverages any more than they need to be. So we got that, and that'll probably be the only thing that I didn't get was pasta sauce and cheese. Cheese isn't actually in my program, so that's just kind of cheating on it. But pasta sauce I make from home. I make it scratch on my own from home. I have my own like extra large Prego container that I rinse out and cook up my pasta sauce, put it in there. It's basically a canning jar made out of thick plastic, and that's what I use for my pasta meals. And then I also I got 8 pounds of pasta last time I was here, and I've only used about 3 pounds of it. So that pasta will last a month, maybe 2. I prefer a different noodle type because ZD is a little too small and not aggressive enough. It's not consumed fast enough. What else? So pretty much it'll be 30 to 40 bucks to feed me a week if you don't include like coffee and stuff like that. And I need to get better at not drinking Dunkin' coffee, but you know, America runs on Dunkin'. Not sponsored. Please fucking sponsor me, Dunkin'. I need some free coffee. You want local heroes in your advertisements? Put this motherfucker on there. And everyone tag Dunkin' and make sure I can be the sloppy Dunkin' slut. Because I'm a slut for Dunkin'. There is a very few things I would not do. Is there anything I wouldn't do to be sponsored by Dunkin'? I don't think there is. I think they have lines they won't cross, but I would cross. So do with that information what you will, as long as it guarantees me free Dunkin' coffee for life. It'd be even cooler if they gave me a free Dunkin' singlet, even cooler if they flew me out to all my meets, but that doesn't really happen for powerlifting. We're professional, but not really. I now have a shelf of cereal. We've got Captain Crunch, Crunch Berries, not Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops, buddy. We've got Frosted Flakes chocolate, which were pretty garbage. And we've got Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Elite level lifter. Buddy, walk. Buddy, where are you? Buddy, come here. Sit. He's got a new trick chicken. Whoop. Oh, I'm trying to show off to the people that you've got a new trick, and you mess it up immediately. Buddy, sit. Buddy, sit. Oh boy. Boop. Patriots need a new receiver. I got one. Little guy. He's a little guy too. Perfect for the Patriots. All right, preacher. What are you doing? You trying to steal my food again? Pre-training food. We've got, it's supposed to be about 215 grams of cereal, but a lot more poured out than I expected, a lot faster than I expected. So we've got about 245 grams of Cinnamon Toast Crunch here. And about 16 ounces of Fairlife fat-free milk. It's very nice. Imagine having to constantly say no to this face. Hey, bud. Can you say no to that face ever? Let me get my messy beard out of the way. I have to constantly say no to that face. Because if I don't say no to that face, it gets whatever it wants. And when it gets whatever it wants, it gets fat. Coming from the fat guy. Staple is in pouch in my foreskin and wake me up, baby. We had a bench day today. Now, I was feeling a little sore yesterday, and by sore I mean I felt chest tightness, and obviously that gave me a panic attack while I was driving, because I was driving with my elbow up on the windowsill of a car. Is that the proper term? On the door, and that puts the pec in deflection, and so it was a little tight. So we started off with some long pause, and by long pause I mean 10 by 10 count pause dumbbell flies, which loosened it up a bit, and then we did the pre-fatigue work that was prescribed by coach, which was 20 count pause with a set of 10 of zero acceleration push-ups, and I say 20 count because it says 20 seconds, but I do a 20 count because I'm counting in my head. I'm not using a timer, and it's pre-fatigue work, so it's just about getting the blood flowing, getting the muscle stretched out a bit. So we got that done, and then we started benching, and I'm in the process of doing a little different things when it comes to warm-ups with bench, and I completely forgot by the time I was on my last warm-up when it came to benching. So we have a 6x2 at 405 today. So my first warm-up was a 1x10 with the bar. Second warm-up was a 1x8 with 185. And then my last warm-up, which I'm showing you, is 1x5 with 315. And then we were all warmed up for 405. 6x2, I believe. Yeah. So I could have even done a different rep scheme, but I just like doing the 10-8-6-2, 10-8-6-4 rep scheme. So set one felt really good. The right elbow was a little meh, which meant that the descent pattern was a little off. But as we got in a tempo, as we got flowing, because we only had 2 minutes of rest in between each set, the bench felt better and better and better. The cueing was better and better and better. We got the legs incorporated better and better and better. And one would be remiss to note that maybe I wasn't fully warmed up by that first set, but what do we say to them? You're small. So, set, I don't really remember the sets. I just remember like being really self-conscious with the person behind me, the cutie patootie behind me, because it's like lane courtesy. You don't want to be walking by someone who's squatting. You don't want to be bowling when the person next to you is also bowling, because it'll throw them off. You don't want to be doing this. You don't want to be walking past someone who's squatting in front or to the side. And I was like, would me benching beside them or benching behind them be distracting? And I don't remember which, it was either the 4th or 5th set. I was like, I am re-racking these a little aggressively, and if she's right behind me, I should probably be less aggressive with my re-racking, because when people hear crash, boom, 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 I mean, you gotta, it sounds aggressive, but re-racking is re-racking, you know, boys. And when you hear that and you're not used to 400 pounds coming towards you with the hope that a rack is going to be able to hold it, and knowing that the rack feet are coming up, because combo racks are an antiquated piece of equipment that belong in no gym. If it's doing that with 405 on a bench, just, you gotta wonder what it's going to be doing with more weight than that during squats, where the lever is a little further, so it gets more torque on the ground and the pivot point. Oh, just use a mono. I hate those feds that are just like, we use a combo rack. Why? Monos exist. The only thing that it does is it makes the setup and cleanup a little easier for the platform people. And yeah, people on the platform, the platform crew, greatly appreciate all the spotters, loaders, and setup and teardown crews. But it's all about lifter safety, isn't it? You know. So I hopefully have talked through all these 6x2 benches. The last set of 2, she was behind me, and I was like, I'm gonna re-rack this as softly as possible, because I knew we were benching at the same time, and I was self-conscious of that, so I tried to be as soft with a re-rack as possible. And then we moved on to the dumbbell incline bench press. The hardest thing all day is getting those dumbbells up, because they're big, they're bulky, and yeah, especially the left one. I try to use momentum to get up, but nah. So 3x10, 2 minutes rest. The fatigue accumulation, we focused a little more on getting the heads of the dumbbell further and further out, closer to the bicep rather than to the shoulder, and trying to increase that range of motion a little bit and feel that stretch at the bottom. So the fatigue accumulated a little bit more than previous, so we're using the same weights, but we're getting more results from it. So we're being more optimal, more science-based. Haha, we're gonna be so strong. But for realsies though, that's how you stay in the game for a long time, is you treat your accessories like muscle maintenance, like rehab work, and you get going. And then we did the dumbbell incline skull crushers, and these are a weird one, because they have to set up higher on the bench, so you're not like actually sitting on it, so that you have the range of motion, and trying to like let go of all the tension in your triceps, so you can feel a stretch at the bottom with those with the movement is a little, it doesn't feel natural. But one of the homies, coached by Lawrence Chalet, a strongman guy, he was given overhead tricep accessory, and I was like, try this. And he did, and Lawrence was like, you know, that's actually a really good idea. We're replacing your choice with these. And I was like, haha, I know a thing or two. Haha. One of the 8-time world's strongest man finalists agrees with me on how to train triceps. Haha, yes. And then the next accessory was the cable fly superset with the push-ups. The first set of the push-ups, I elected to do flat hand, and that absolutely destroyed my wrists. So I did fists for the other sets, and I will never do flat hands ever, ever, ever again, because that is a terrible, terrible idea when you're large and not so in charge. And then the last movement that we had of the day, the accessory, was the 1-count pause at the top, dumbbell curls, and those were good. We got a good pause at the top, and we started off with the 40s. Those were a little aggressive, so we dropped it down to the 35s for the next set. And the intraset fatigue accumulation meant that was the same effort level as the previous set with 5 pounds more. So we dropped the weight 5 pounds more. Same level of fatigue. So it's like we had a drop set where everything felt the same. So yeah, it's we got a sick pump, and we like I was getting up from standing from the I was either getting up or getting down from the cable, the superset of the cable flies with the push-ups, and I was like, damn, I got a bicep vein still. I'm in my fat phase, and we still got some veinage, some vascularity going on, which means the body recomp is going pretty well. We are currently, this morning, we weighed in at 349.95 pounds, and that means that we maintain for the next 15 weeks, 16 weeks, because once we get closer and closer to the meet, the body weight's going to fluctuate upwards, based on how things go, with, not prolactin, glycogen accumulation, and stuff like that, water retention, everything, going into a meet. So the body weight's going to fluctuate up a little bit. So we're going to be in maintenance for the next 15, 16 weeks. And then we drop back down to 330, 320s area so that we can weigh in light at the next meet and be a skinny little boy and then jump back up to 360. So that's the body weight plan that for some reason nobody's ever tried before, probably because it's very difficult to go from being really strict in one direction to being really strict in the other direction. And being strict, it just takes a level of autism that not everyone has. So I just got home. I'm gonna let Buddy out. I'm gonna slam a protein shake, and we're gonna do some Uber Eats tonight to make ends meet, homies. Hopefully we can get $100. We barely got $100 yesterday after 13 hours. So let's hope that a Wednesday night is a bit more busy than a Tuesday entire day. So I'll see you guys with my protein shake. I accidentally wore all white. It's all that was clean. I wonder why. So when I drink protein shakes, usually I gulp it all in one go. But this is MRE Redcon 1, or Redcon 1 MRE. And it's got a little bit of a texture issue, so I had to make it with Fairlife fat-free milk. But also, it's my next food until whenever. So I'm just gonna sip at it, make sure I'm getting consistent calories throughout the trip, I guess. I plan to get started a little earlier, but I took a poop and then I took a shower because it was a good poop, and so we're leaving a little later than anticipated. So hopefully we're able to at least get 50. The goal is 100, minimum 50. 75 would be a good day. So let's see what we get. I'm pretty sure I just watched Casual Theft go on. So I'm at this Taco Bell, and I get an order, and then the person adds on to their own order. So cha-ching for me. And I'm waiting in there because they have to make 2 orders for me. And while I'm in there, this chick wearing booty shorts,
right on I-293 north using the right lane,
just comes in with her boyfriend and then goes behind the counter, gives him a slushie, and then comes out with 2 more large drinks. And then there's another homie with a sweatshirt who comes in, just goes right behind the counter and comes out with 2 drinks and then just disappears. And then the chick decides that she's gonna make some nacho fries. So she's making nacho fries. And I'm like, not once in the entirety of my life where I've worked in fast food a couple times, have I ever been able to just come in to work and get an entire meal for my family ready and just take it without paying. I was like, But anyways, all that distraction, the manager was included in that too, just talking to the chick while she was making the nacho fries. They definitely 100% messed up the order in my favor and gave me an extra drink. So I got a medium root beer on the house for my weight because they sucked. So, whoopee for me. So, let's talk about manifesting for a little bit. It's a very vaginal word, where if you manifest things, chances are you have a vagina. Now, this being said, one of my idols, Stacy Burr, manifested herself the highest Wilkes of all time at one point. So there's got to be some merit to it. You got to be realistic with your manifestations, can and will. And then also recognize that it takes a lot to get there. So I wake up every morning and I tell myself, today is going to be a good day. That's manifesting. That's the extent of what I do. Or if I catch myself in a negative mood, I redirect myself and I go, this morning sucked, but the rest of the day is going to be a good day. And that positive outlook positively affects how you perform for the rest of the day, your interactions with other people, because your negative day does not have to leech onto other people's negative. You don't have to cause anyone else's day to be negative, right? You don't want your negativity to be blasted throughout your area, right?
In a quarter mile, turn left on Bridge Street using the left lane.
I wasn't having such a good day today. I got distracted at home and got started a little later than I had anticipated. But that being said, we were very productive today, and we're still in the middle of the day. We're going to be productive tonight. So I'm on this one order. I don't know why my phone randomly stops recording, but we're on this order that I'm currently in my car right now. It's a Taco Bell stacked up with a pizza, or a pizza place, 911 Pizza. And I'm at the Taco Bell. Homie behind the counter is, hey, you hungry? We have this order that we made, but no one picked up. We don't need it anymore. I was like, hell yeah. So I got myself a Crunchwrap Supreme. That is not on my program, but if it's free, it's for me. Then, after I pick up that
in a quarter
Taco
mile,
Bell,
drop off.
I go to the pizza place. The pizza place goes, hey, would you like a DoorDash bag? I've never done a delivery for DoorDash. I said, hell yeah. It's one of those insulated DoorDash bags. So, how quickly does your day go good? It can get real good, real fast, as long as you maintain a positive attitude. But if you don't, your day will never get good. So, be like some HIV and be positive, homies. I talked about all that positivity, and then the Taco Bell, they didn't give me the drink. So, yeah, they didn't get their drink.
Oh, thanks. I've been dying for one of these. Where's my drink?
What drink?
My drink? My Diet Dr. Kelp? Don't tell me you forgot my drink!
But you didn't order any.
How am I supposed to eat this pizza without my drink? Didn't you ever once think of the customer? You call yourself a delivery boy? Well, I ain't buying!
Hopefully, nothing happens. Likely what's going to happen is, so it's a stacked up order, which means that someone subsidized the tip, probably the pizza one, hopefully, and that means hopefully that one, they can't really reduce the tip and affect me very negatively, or they're going to give me a negative review. That'll be my first one ever. Oh no. Still staying positive though. So I just made a delivery, right? And I pick it up. Homie is less than 1,000 feet away. I was like, okay, I'm walking this to the delivery. Very cool. But it's also like 10:30 at night on Elm Street, like the main street, the main drag of the Queen City of New Hampshire. And yeah, is this just big dog privilege where I'm the big dog? Woof. anyways, I was gonna be home at 10, and I have this like internal rule of I'm gonna be home. I'm gonna keep the requests coming, but I'm not gonna accept anything less than $20. And then I got something for $24, and I was like, cool, awesome, P Diddy. So that's we're doing that, and we still have to cook up 5 pounds of beef and our rice, and because we got guacamole, and right now we have no excuse to not be doing that. How long can you sit at a red light with no one else in sight before you can just turn left? Like, I know right turn on red is a thing, but like, there's got to be an acceptable limit. I don't like breaking laws, and I know that if I turned left, it would be breaking a law. It's like I can see the side of the traffic light. You can see the side of the traffic light, and so you know it's green, so you know it's not changing anytime soon. And I'm just sitting here at a red light, just making my way downtown, driving nowhere. Faces pass because they're homebound, and it's like over there there's nothing. So I don't know. I'm just gonna keep waiting. So I was incorrect in my assumption that I would have enough energy to cook about 6 pounds of beef tonight, because I got home, it's about midnight. I stopped at 3 different gas stations to try and fill up my car. All of them were, the pumps have been stopped. So I rolled in with a gallon of gas in my car. I'll have to get gas when first thing I turn my car on. So the tally for the end of the night, we ended up with about $95 that we made tonight on like about 4 hours. So pretty decent haul. 4 or 5 hours, decent haul. Somewhere close to $20 an hour, which really beats yesterday, which was $114 for 13 hours. So I think we made up a little bit for that, but the grind never stops, homies. So we're gonna keep chugging along, and the weekly goal is 500, and we'll see how close we get to that, because 500 is the minimum I need to not be in the red for every month, because bills. Anyways, I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna take my nighttime supplements, which is just like selenium, copper, TUDCA, fish oil, collagen, turmeric, D3. Sorry, I was listening to some Eminem. D3 and K2, IRE, kidney support, hemoflow, and then ZMA. And I don't think I forgot anything on there. I should be taking lion's mane first thing in the morning, because I'm supposed to take all of these first thing in the morning, but I just don't, because I'm like, I'm tired, I need coffee, and then by the time I have coffee, I'm like, I am out of the door. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Thanks for joining me on my adventures today, and I hope that I was the voice of reason in your head, at least for a little while. So see you guys in the next one, which will be a deadlift day, and I really hope you guys enjoy. Ta-ta for now. Meh.